If you miss out on first... There we go. I was like, if you miss out, with me literally telling you when I'm going live. I will still update the boards. And Bacon, how are you doing, friend? What-ho and welcome! After yesterday's maximum tier wibble, I'm back. Oh shit, Phyllis, this puts you in the lead for this month as well. And yeah, Ultrazini, it's kind of cheating because Phyllis is helping me with wrangling the dogs today. So I literally went, I'm going live! Yeah, close enough that Phyllis has to mute the stream, otherwise they get too out of will. Oh, Bacon, and then some. I found out that there's a new level of sadness. Sorry, I shouldn't say a new level of sadness. You know that, like, the meme that's done the rounds of there's nothing worse than when you... There's nothing worse than splurging on takeaway food and it being bad. Well, I found a new level to that of there's nothing worse than saying, fuck it, I'm not going to be able to work today, getting all the ingredients together to make something lovely and it turning out fucking terrible. I tried to make Japanese-style curry last night. What I made was bright yellow potato paste, which somehow, despite having like the colour of one of the weirder planets from Outer Wilds, had the taste of nothing. I created nothing paste. It was not a good time. Yesterday fucking sucked, but I got through it. And I've got help today, and I'm doing a lot better. Also, guess you got a fucking free cookie? Well, me and Fearless. Turns out there's like a little... one of the cute little houses around the block. They just do like free cookie Friday. And that's it. They just, you know, they get local ingredients from like peeps around the area. They bake cookies and just give them out. Which is really cool. Huffers, Kazi, what's up, welcome. Sorry, and Bacon and Ultrazini, thank you. And Bacon with a teeny tiny little... Stop telling people you're dead. So yeah, so... This afternoon is going to be a little different. We're not going to be doing a full night on Sea of Thieves. It's going to be just a couple hours of just chatting, hanging out. There's loads of stuff to talk about. Though I'm still catching up on the article that, again, Fearless put up, of like what actually happened behind the scenes of Annapurna, not Akapura. They're fine, we like them, they're the ones publishing or looking after Rainworld these days. So yeah. I mean, maybe we can sneak in like an hour of marbles on stream or something as like a little training race. Maybe break some more records, who knows? But it's going to be a shorter stream, just because I wouldn't have been able to sit here in front of you if I didn't have help wrangling the animals today, but I'm still exhausted. Like, I tried to watch a movie last night after I got the dogs in for their evening walk and I just kept falling asleep. Of course, as soon as I tried to sleep for realsies, it was like... but I did not come here to whinge. I came here to trade tales, celebrate the fact that the next Yakuza game is going to be a Mijima pirate game based in Hawaii. Apparently everyone's been listening to my little fucking wish book. Oh, and forgive me for the tippity tappity. Also, what's been really interesting is there's been some really positive reviews of the Dead Rising remaster. So, looking forward to potentially having a little crack at that. Not tonight, obviously, but Dead Rising is one of those games that was so weird and different. Jackie, yeah, this is the 10-minute power hour. But instead of whimsical nonsense, I offer you coffee and games industry banter. Yeah, Dustin. What a year this week has been, I think is what you mean. It's Friday and I feel like I've been at this week for several months. But good to see you, what unwelcome. Missed you all. Sorry it's been so chaotic the last couple days. Okay, sorry for multi-track drifty potato there. So yeah, but I hope you're all doing splendid, friends. Tell me your tales. Like, before we get into industry banter and Vigigamery nonsense. What have you been up to? What have you been playing? Tell me your tales. Like, okay. I think I have the wildest game news over the last couple of days. Beating out Pokemon weirdness, beating out a whole bunch of other stuff. But I wanna see if it compares. I wanna wait till everybody's in. And Shitaru, did I say hi? I kinda hope I did. And Jackie, I understand though, like, okay, usually I would say prototype first, optimize later, but your whole concept, at least if it's the same thing I'm thinking of, is based on fire propagation, and whether or not a game based on fire propagation lives and dies is on its optimization, right? Like, you could very easily make a fire propagation system that would melt somebody's fucking CPU. You know? If you're creating a title based on a technical concept, that concept needs to work good like. Wait, so Phyllis, is the Magnus Protocol, is that the Magnus Archives? Like, is it in the same vein, or am I just losing my marbles? It's the sequel series. Okay, I haven't started the Magnus Archives yet. I really want to, because it's fucking brilliant. Kakazi's been playing Fix My Sleep Schedule. Ah, yes. That's what... I'm not very good at that game. It's kind of like why I stopped trying to play Pokemon Sleep. Because I didn't need to lose at sleeping. Actually, I know what album I want. Where you at? Boosh. Hang on. Shwoop! And kapow! There we go. Go for some smooth beats for a Friday afternoon. And J-Post, what ho from the past? It's time travel, let's fucking go. How are you doing, friends? Yeah, no, and Jackie, like, it's not something that we usually talk about because the kind of projects that are predominantly based on one technical mechanic, people don't really discuss the process of getting from zero to functioning. You know, it's not really one of the sexy parts of game development, but, you know, if your whole title is going to be based around An Thang.
Reactor online.
Hey!
Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Hello, Will.
And greetings to you, MDH. How are you doing, friend? Wato and welcome. Jesus, 57 months. I think I've commented on this before, but the time truncation of streaming for a living is so bizarre. It simultaneously feels like you've been here the whole time and you just got here. And DJ Coil, what and welcome. Kimble, how goes it? I've been here the whole time! Yeah, but Verdun, I have promised since last time that I'm not going to collapse any waveforms. And I've been doing pretty good about that. That's why I got a free cookie today. No, I got a free cookie because we walked past someone who was giving away free cookies. Which, like, how's that for a slice of fried gold? Oh, yeah, Fearless, I haven't had the chance to do Tactical Breach Wizards yet. I might schedule it for a stream day, and we'll just have to accept that maybe Will might get a little monosyllabic, because the writing is so good. And I could probably blep at What's-His-Face getting on the show. Maybe that'll offset me just being all focused onto the cool shit. But yeah, so as I was saying, like, how are you all doing? Tell me your tales. I know it's only been a day and change, but it feels like it's been 1,000 years. Also, you know what? Time is short, life is short. Ooh. Oh, sorry, Sadlin just put an article about parking garage rally circuit, and I... Hey! Virals, you fucking legend. And I was just going to go check to make sure I've got that one wish listed, because it looks like the Sega Saturn game I never got. What did make me smile, though, I don't know if I mentioned this, and this might only be relevant to me and Sadlin, is the team behind Tokyo Highway Extreme, or whatever it was called out here. That team is going to be making a new title that will be coming out on PC and everything. So, expect to lose me to, like, you know, 90s Japanese beats and Tokyo Street Racing for, like, a month. It's one of the few racing games after Need for Speed Underground 2 that consumed me. And Cigarette, Meow is an interesting point, but have you considered Meow? And Square Peg, what and welcome. And Jamami, homie, I know that feeling so much. Hopefully I can provide you at least a little breather and a little bit of whimsy for a couple hours. Because, yeah, I too have been in, things I desperately need to get done and haven't. And for one of them, I emailed a person and their response was, I'd love to, but homie, there's nothing I can do. Which probably would partially had a wibble yesterday, but that's another story. And Dice God has been walking around with a broken wrist for 5 weeks. Fuck. I only broke my hand for like a week and change. Quantum Leap is Isekai of the week. Wait. Can you get Isekai back into the same place you left, or does it have to be another world? Because you're jumping into different bodies, but it's still same timeline. So no, actually, I refute that Quantum Leap is an Isekai. Over on Discord, C222 pointed out that Farscape is an isekai, and I hate that they're right. Yeah, because, Alnis, if Quantum Leap counts, then so does the A-Team. With B.A. Baracus chugging drugged milk and then waking up somewhere else. But anyway, how are you all doing, friends? Oh, and Dice Goddess always getting to reboot their Star Wars campaign. Lovely. I hope it's awesome. And Salen, again, thank you for reminding me about Parking Garage Rally. Because that came out today, and I can kind of see us getting a little competitive. Because I think it's got friend stuff. And Nessa! How are you doing, friend? I see you, you wrapped on VO stuff. I can't really help you with writing because I'm a terrible writer. But it's good to see you. I wanted to organise the Will and Nessa Talk Hitman for an afternoon. But life has been kicking the shit out of me recently. But we're still going to do that. I don't know if the multiplayer, like, the versus mode is still going. So what I might do is just, we'll both start a run of the roguelike and see where it takes us. And Dustin, I hope so too. Currently, Baron and I are working on the tower, which you'll be able to sign up for, which is the D&D game show. The idea being is that you'll sign up, everyone gets the same character, same starting point. The goal is to get to the top of the tower, and that's it. Because I want to do something that's more, like, technical, but, like, improvised. And I want to be on the same side of the DM screen as Baron for a change. Yeah. Well, Anessa, you do understand, though, if we talk Hitman, that will utilize me to talk about my pitch for the Hitman TV show. And Saban! I guess we race it. Maybe, I mean, shit, we can do that for an hour this afternoon. We can be racing. Yeah, no, Nessa, and I've got a really good pitch for it. But we'll Nessa, we'll get into that one. But yeah, I hope the stuff for Endoparasitic 2 has been going real good. Salem, I point out there were friend leaderboards, and I have no friends on the leaderboards. I did just finish I Am Your Beast, which doesn't currently have friend leaderboards, but might. If that happens, well, we'll be friends in the Steam sense, but maybe not in the real sense. Oh, Natter with Nessa, all Hitmans considered. All right, Dustin, I'm putting that in the. I'm putting that in our little group. In our, well, not our group chat, but our future one, because that'll be good. So Endoparasitic's coming out October 1st. I mean, Nessa, if you want, we can do a day one stream of that one, because I never streamed Endoparasitic, and it's not too spoopy for long stream. We can do that. You'll probably want to be sleeping that day. Yeah. Well, I mean, according to Steam, loads of people have played and loved Endoparasitic, and the only other two people I've been able to talk to about it is the guy what made it and the Nessa what wrote it. Okay, so Sagara, I'll do you a quick one again, because we'll talk about this one. Oh, Caffeine, what turn welcome. We'll talk about this properly when Nessa and I can actually sit down and talk about Hitman. But the idea is kind of taking the plot structure from Hitman Blood Money, that we're not following Agent 47 narratively, we're following the guy who's trying to fucking catch him, you know? And I guess because I've been really enjoying Killing Eve, I've been rewatching that as well.
I saw someone attempting to sell a skunk today.
Okay.
Surprisingly cheap, only cost a cent.
Ah! Alright, that's Eraman, that's very good. And fucking thank you. Again, like, sorry I had a full-on wibble yesterday. Missed you all. Good to be back. Thank you. And Navalis Vato, and welcome. But yeah, so the TLDR is I would do each episode as a different kind of tweak on the Hitman experience, but the rule is Agent 47 is not a character. That's the core conceit. Agent 47 is the agent of change, either the monster in the dark or the vehicle of comedy. But Mr. the Hitman is not a character. And you structure each episode around that. So, like, you can do full-on, like, fucked-up horror, the evil villain in a mansion while every person gets picked off until it's just him. In his mansion, once full of guards protecting him, and there is no one. Like, you can go full horror. You can also go massive comedy. Full-on fight scenes where a guy in a Big Bird costume kicks the shit out of 17 dudes. Or again, loads of hilarious ways. I love the idea of this guy exasperatedly trying to explain that no, this was a hit. This wasn't some kind of like Muppet Rube Goldberg machine. And then having them being refuted, like, there's no way that this gigantic version of Screwball Scramble actually was planned. There's no way that the victim was literally crushed by a boulder that was pushed by a car that had its handbrake unhooked by a cat, Dave exploded playing golf. You want to tell me that's an assassination? Yes! Absolutely! People don't explode playing golf! Because depending on how you play through a Hitman level, sometimes it's just a bizarre, like, comedy of errors for everyone who isn't you. But then you can also do, like, the impossible sniper shot. You can do the Cold War spy versus spy. You can have so much fun with it. And because the mission structure is all based around one person gets jobbed, you basically have a nice, neat structure for every, if not episode, but arc. Yeah, what about the guy killed with a fish? We're supposed to believe someone broke into his home, crammed a fish down his gob. No. Of course we're supposed to believe that! He was an internationally wanted man! He didn't just magically die choking on fish! NDH. And that's the great flexibility of it. Our detective is examining the famous homing briefcase. And is trying to match the impossibility of what the record says happened with how it could have gone. So you have 7 dead guys, all on slabs, and then one briefcase fucking covered in blood. And as he's reading the coroner's reports, he's trying to work out how this one fucking briefcase killed all these dudes. And then, so you can joke about it and, like, it's impossible to buzz a briefcase at a guy and hit them in the side of the head whilst they're driving a jet ski. But according to the report, that's what happened, right? And so you can use the fun comedy sponginess of Hitman's engine as a vehicle for, like, inconsistent information. Oh, Nessa, you give me far too much credit. I am great at any of the snipey no snipers, but for everything else, there's chaos. My favorite weapon is a fish. There's nothing you can't achieve with a good fish. Well, so Alnus, I haven't decided how the Hitman series would end, right? Because that's the one downside is the detective is determined to find him and needs to. In Hitman Blood Money, you have the incredible finale where, Mr. the Hitman has been killed. And as the structure and setup of Blood Money is everyone talking about what happened at Agent 47's funeral. And he fucking comes out the coffin double pistols. One of the most iconic scenes in video games, which none of the movies have fucking used because they're fucking cowards. So I don't know what I would do with that one, but there are so many great moments from shows like Killing Eve and True Detectives and stuff like that, that, you know, if you treat Mr. the Hitman basically like the fucking xenomorph from Aliens, this perfect killing machine, you know, the idea of, you know, the detective in his shitty semi-detached flat in, I don't know, East London, and then there is the perfect killing machine waiting at his kitchen table. And our guy knows how lethal he is. You've got yourself a great setup, but, you know, I'm not a TV show writer, so at that point I'm just giving you concepts. And also, sorry, Eraman, thank you for the joke and run. That's $10 in bits, you fucking legend. And Shitaru, thank you for filling the pint glass. And DJ Quill, you could absolutely do that. You could show the juxtaposition between what they think happened and what happened. There's so much fun to have with it. But yeah, Nessa, I'll blep at you about when we do Hitman Day off of stream, because I love talking about it. I don't know if I told you all this, but when we started playing Hitman 2, I did the Murder, She Wrote joke, right? Because Jessica Fletcher is one of America's greatest assassins. Well, okay, whether she's an assassin or a serial killer really depends on your perspective, but she killed them all. And so we did a bit at the beginning where it was me playing the Murder, She Wrote theme, walking across the sand dunes to go murder someone. And I used this old Photoshop I made, which was Jessica Fletcher with the Hitman key art. It got added to some Murder, She Wrote playlist by mistake and is now my most viewed video of all time. It is also my most hated video of all time. Yeah, Murder, She Wrote, the Agent 47 episode, has 21,000 views on YouTube. Like, even King Dave Eating a Pepper doesn't come close to that, and it is despised. And Nick, how are you doing, friend? Watto and welcome. And Moose, yeah, it's something similar to that. Like, sorry, Moose was just saying the DS9 episode, The Pale Moonlight. Because here's the thing. With a combination of, like, that voracious want to know why Agent 47 is jobbing all these people, but also the fear of knowing that they are in the room with one of the greatest killers on the planet. Like, you've got a great setup. And, okay, this is just me being arty-farty. Now, if I'm getting to direct it, I want to steal the setup of the theatre episode from Mr. Robot. Like, that is also something I would love to do. Nick is surviving till 25ing. Well, What I will say is that Fearless is around today helping me dog wrangle and whatnot. Because that is the reason that you all have me here today. Yesterday kicked my ass. Yesterday kicked my ass. So, game devery and nonsense. I said I would. I don't know if I said challenge, but hang on, I'm gonna go to our library. Here we go. So I saw the wildest shit in the last couple days, and I have not been able to talk about it because I was not streaming yesterday. Fight Crab 2 is doing a crossover. Alright, fine, cool. It's a Japanese game dev doing a crossover with another Japanese game dev. That's not shocking, right? The crossover is with El Shaddai, the impossible Angels in Blue Jeans Devil May Cry 'em up that amazed, wowed, and fucking confused the shit out of everybody in both its initial and re-release. And they're doing that, plus Fight Crab! So if you feel like you've got some wilder games news to throw in, be my guest. but I think I'm winning. Yeah, El Shaddai is on Switch now. If you like really gorgeous games and a nice little twist on the Devil May Cry combat system, a little closer to, I don't want to say Nier. I don't want to say Bayonetta, but I think El Shaddai predates Bayonetta. El Shaddai is predominantly based around like stealing weapons from enemies, comboing them in, and then taking the next weapon from the next enemy. So it's weird. It's a weird one to get your head around to start with, but you definitely get, when you get into the flow state, it's gorgeous. Terribly sorry, terribly sorry. And Gear Graphic, what and welcome. Hello, hello. But yeah, in terms of the rest of game news, I will admit, while I am sorry we didn't have a stream yesterday. I got overwhelmed with everything ever and just had a little breakdown. But I'm good. I am glad that we haven't had to spend all this time talking about the fucking Pokemon lawsuit, because I have skimmed a lot of very bad takes, and it has been driving me mildly up the wall. It's like anything involving Nintendo, every Mother Hubbard's got to have a hat in a ring. It's very much a opinions are like arseholes kind of situation. But if you haven't seen it, so Fearless put up a really good article like about half an hour ago, which is our good friend Reb, who is one of the few people that still make IGN worth checking out every now and then. Did an incredible deep dive in what the fuck has been happening with Annapurna and why the Annapurna Interactive thing has been so wild, and unfortunately it doesn't paint the same positive light that I was hoping for, as it seems that Annapurna Pictures has just been mismanaged into the ground. And that's why Interactive wanted to be separate from them, so that when the movie side goes completely, it won't drag them both down. But they said no, so it's a good coffee read and definitely worth your time, friends. And things are not looking good for the peeps in and around Concord. The creative lead has stepped down, and there's fears there's going to be a lot of layoffs there, and like, I don't want to go too hard into it because I'm going to start butting up against some friendlies at this point. But what I will say is that whoever's responsible for that marketing campaign can get fucking stuffed. Like, because I sat down and I went through Concord, its marketing and how it was laid out, and do you know who did a similar campaign? Battleborn. And arguably, Battleborn had a better video asset, but it was a multiplayer title that had an interesting hook inside of its gameplay that was never shown to users. And what was shown to them was a confusing mismatch of character vignettes attempting to put like a character story arc, but before you knew the characters or the world or what you'd be playing. Arguably, Battleborn had a better run-up in terms of its like coverage and explanation, but you know, at the time they were trying to explain basically what Deadlock is now without the language. So yeah, I'm feeling for Concord. You know, they did not have a Firefall bus. No one feels bad about Firefall. Bang one out in the Firefall bus. Sorry, it was me being very crass. I know we made this as a long ship after dark joke, but knowing how big a fucking disaster Firefall would end up being, I would've. Yeah, it's a callback. Oh, one thing I do want to add, friends, is if you didn't get to watch it, the... I mean, look, okay, I'm not saying Firefall the game was bad, but you know and I know so many people that worked on that shit. We know the stories. They're not ours to tell yet. But the fact that the Pimp My Ride bus never actually worked, still something I think about to this day. That what's-his-face, the now fucking awful shite heel of Twitter, went off, commissioned this whole thing, didn't tell the dev team, but they were making an MMO. There was no way to create a local server to run local games on that bus. So without a stupidly strong internet connection, it didn't work. And the thing is, it's a bus. What are you gonna do? Run a fucking fiber cable from like E3 show floor out? Okay, Nick, the bus worked, but not to play the game. Callback. But no, it's just... Look, making video games is hard. Marketing video games is hard. It's not easy and there's no one trick. It's just those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. This is true of so many disciplines. And what kind of irks me is whatever happened behind the scenes at Concord was probably a bit of a fucking mess, right? But in terms of how it was sold to us, like, none the fuck. Like, we could sit here and pick apart Anthem all day, day. But Anthem got the full weight of EA's marketing machine behind it, right? They had a fucking trailer by Neil Blomkamp. And it was a good video. Like, for about 6 months, you could not swing a cat without seeing those fucking giant robot suits. Well, they're not a giant robot. Those power armor suits running around. With Concord, we got nothing. Then we got a CGI thematic trailer that showed no gameplay elements for a game which is meant to be squad v squad. And that was really kind of all we got. You know, that trailer landed so flat and was absolutely buried amongst all the other nonsense of, I want to say it was, I don't think it was Gamescom, I think it was Summer Games Fest. And Holy Boss, how are you doing, friend? Yes, DJ, the trailer said completely the wrong impression of gameplay. It did not make a lick of sense. It did not make a lick of sense in terms of showing us what we would actually be playing. And multiplayer games are entirely experiential. Yes, Verdant, that trailer was fucking expensive. And DJ, you weren't the only one. There wasn't really anything else to go on. And here's the thing. If it had been a story game about a team of mismatched criminals flying through the galaxy, doing crimes, trying to survive, you know, like Cowboy Bebop gets Marvelified, I think that was a really good asset because that's what we got, right? But if you watch that whole trailer and then someone taps you on the shoulder and goes, oh no, it's a multiplayer hero shooter, the only thing people are going to say is Nani the fuck? Yes! And DJ, I have watched and rewatched those OG Overwatch assets. Well, and the other element, DJ Coil, I know I'm saying what we all know, is just Overwatch's original trailer showed us heroes. The hero part of a hero shooter. This is the cast you're going to get to play as. More evocative of like the characterization you see in fighting games and things like that. but with a more sensible plot. I'm looking at you, Tekken. You know what you did. God, I still haven't played Tekken 8. Anyway, Overwatch did such a good job of showing that there are two factions at play comprised of individual heroes. And yes, using the children in the Overwatch museum as a surrogate for the potential user to tell them about this was so good, right? Alright, Legend. See you in the VODs. That does mean, however, Legend, that you will need to drop some cool... you know what? And this is to future VOD watchers, should you have the wherewithal. Give me your favourite pointless fact. And not you lot watching, this is for the YouTubian crowd. This is a future message in a bottle. No facts for you. But yes, for the YouTube lot. Don't worry about it. Anyway. This is one of the things that I study this shit a lot. I don't know at what point I will or may have to again handle this kind of thing, but, you know, marketing can be one of two things. It can either be expensive or it can be an art form. But if you fuck it up, you can ruin, you know, years of game development. And if you don't have the capital to keep the thing going, if you don't have the skills to turn the ship around, you can fuck it completely. Yeah, DJ Coil, I completely agree. The structure was you're part of a team that's out to do a job. Steal a thing, grab a thing, rob a thing. And the implication was also that this team had worked together prior. But that's not how the game is at all. It's a hero shooter. I mean, it's easy for me to sit here and deconstruct this. I understand. It's very easy to be kind of like an armchair marketing genius when you have no fucking skin in the game. Personally, this should have been one of those titles that the first thing that people experience is playing it, right? It's a new IP, it's a new concept. It should have just been dropped and then increased, like, in terms of marketing assets, right? And what I will say, DJ Coil, I know I say this every time we talk about marketing stuff, but look at Valorant. It's like narrative campaign beats, because Overwatch, sadly, is no longer the master of their craft when it comes to marketing their game. Like, I don't know what happened between Overwatch, I'd say between the end of Overwatch 1 and moving into Overwatch 2, I guess the marketing team changed, or they laid off the wrong people, or people quit. Like, the assets they put out are still high quality, but in terms of, like, their strength and how they deliver on what they used to, they're fucking absolute dog shit. If you put... I think a really good one is putting the Ninja Brothers video next to Junker Queen, whatever her name is. You can see the drop in quality. Not in terms of the animation, but in terms of what the asset does and says. Whereas with Valorant, they took that same idea of a hero shooter and using the characters to be part of the driving force and setting the stakes, and they've continued on that same philosophy that OG Overwatch put forward and have carried it forward. Yeah, DJ Coil, this is when Will goes on crazy eyes, like research deep dives. Well, and the Junker Queen cinematic is fine, but like, the tone is inconsistent, the POV is inconsistent. Like, the rule of cool about it is fine, but with the elements that it has already set forward for itself narratively, it kind of contradicts itself. Whereas, again, the Ninja Brothers video is a reason why it's one of the most watched cinematics. It's fucking incredible. Anyway. So yeah. I'm mad because I don't... From what we've read about like what's happening behind the scenes for Concord, I don't think it's going to get the second tee up that we hoped for. Sorry, Aldous was saying that Concord, apparently they said that they were going to be making monthly cinematics to tell their story. Like, that's so much work. And the thing is, like you're saying, if the users aren't already invested, you know. Now, if you want to look at good ways to do constant video content, not Sunshine Shuffle, that's the gambling game. Sunset Overdrive did a really good job. Yeah, that's Nick. That's like, you're right. That's so much cash. Or if you're doing it internally, that's such an insane amount of crunch. Like, I used to do a YouTube video a month for fucking Creative Assembly, and that nearly fucking killed me. But yeah. True. Sorry, Nick was saying that internally it's still burning money, it's just easier to split up. I mean, the budgetary flavored nonsense. Like, one of the reasons why we got no extra support, but Rally Point ended up being such a big thing for the Creative Assembly, for the Total War marketing, was because they didn't have to ask cinematics. And cinematics were shared between marketing and in-game, right? So having Will just do it was something that they could get away with without technically having to spend more. And also, from what I've seen, because admittedly I was not able to be part of kind of like Sunset Overdrive as it dropped, it had all the makings of being kind of like a new gen, like Jet Set Radio, you know, a real kind of cult classic. I love the fact that the quick travel system is you just get shit-faced drunk and wake up where you need to be. Like, it had a really complicated premise to convey, but it was really fun once you got in, you know. Nick, I didn't know that. That's fucking funny. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to languish on this one. It's just somebody was in charge of Concord's marketing and that person fucked up. And we won't know who that was. We know that dev team must have crunched themselves into a fine powder to get that game, like, polished and out the door, only to be undone by, yeah, that. And hey, maybe if users had gotten to play it a little sooner, maybe if it wasn't competing for, you know, eyeballs against so many huge multiplayer games right now, who knows, right? But we have to remember that Apex Legends is not a repeatable format. Apex Legends was a fucking jammy fluke. From a marketing standpoint. It was sent out to die, and it did the opposite. Right? But this is also the reason why I love chatting with you lot so much, because I get to talk about this stuff with a group of people that get it, and I don't have to get into pointless fights on the internet. I know I probably should be doing more stuff, you know, more TikToks, more YouTube shorts and what have you, but I don't know. Maybe I'll start boiling it down into some useful shit. Just, what's the saying? The amount of energy required to refute bullshit is much, much higher than the amount of energy it takes to create it. And that sounds like an exhausting way to live. Like, I know Chet's been doing a lot of stuff on TikTok, just trying to refute industry knowledge and talk a lot about, like, how games industry stuff actually works. But it's a Sisyphean task. So Gavin says, question for the alcohol hive mind, Jim and severed lime liquid death. See what you think. I didn't get on with the lime liquid death, but that's just me. Orzine, without Cliffy B, Lawbreakers probably would have avoided a few of the basic bitch mistakes that it made, and Radical Heights would have had more time to breathe. Like, I try not to hate on people, because, like, I've met Cliffy B a few times, dude's always been cool, and, you know, we have many stories of him helping people, but in the same breath, like, what was it? Not Boss Key. Well, you know, it was Boss Key, wasn't it? Hired a bunch of friendos from across the industry, had them uproot their lives, move across the world, and then he kind of fucked it, but he fucked it in a way that other people have fucked it, that if one had even studied Brink for 5 minutes, they would have been like, oh. Well, no, so Orzine, a few of Lawbreaker's problems were kind of hot-baked into it, and it's something that I've observed in a studio where there's a named character leading it, because people that join that studio are either fans of that named character or friends of that named character, right? You know, if you hear Cliffy B is hiring, those are kind of the two reactions you're going to have if you're going to apply to work with it. But this creates essentially like a design echo chamber. And unless the lead is strong enough to hold that, it ends up being a mess, right? You know, we talk about Kojima a lot. There's a lot of shit he puts in his games that are fucking terrible. But at the core conceits, he's got down pat, right? Whereas good old Cliffy B did not have the core conceits of what makes, at the time, modern multiplayer shooters pop. You know, being gravity cops wasn't really a strong pull. Pun absolutely intended. Anyway. Just didn't have much weight to it. Hey. Well, it's the thing I was talking about. It's the silhouette problem, right? And the silhouette problem is discussed a lot in comic, well, predominantly manga, but also in comics, right? That a great character is immediately recognizable by their silhouette. Okay? That's, most of you have probably already heard this one, so I know I'm not, like, dispensing hot wisdom from the will face. But it's something that also needs to be communicated in multiplayer shooters. And, well, sorry, I should say in hero shooters, or shooters where the character class is something that affects the interaction. Now, people cracked this shit back in TF2, right? At a moment's glance, you know exactly which character you're fighting because of the iconic silhouettes, the different shapes, you know, the gangly scout, the beefy heavy, you know, even the spy is a different kind of gangly than the scout, and you can see it immediately just from the silhouette, right? Meaning that when you're playing a shooter, you can make split-second decisions based on what you see, which can either be, let's fucking get him, or, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, oh fuck, and run away. But if everybody looks the same, but character classes are the most important part of that engagement, then you just die a lot. And that was one of Brink's biggest problems. You know, beyond the parkour nonsense and the weird level design, both of which would have been fun had it been more of a single-player focused title. But the fact was that in Brink, who you were engaging with in combat. Yeah, actually, yeah, Floydo did a video about this a million years ago. Sorry, there was a best of play frame video that went up today that had the old Happen Lance stuff in. But anyway, Lawbreakers absolutely fell right into that trap. Now, it's okay to do a situation where everybody has the same kit, right? Your Quake 3s, COD and stuff like that, they operate on a different plane. They're about high-speed, fast engagements, but you're then given the information afterwards to know why you died, right? Here is Assman 460-20 Blaze It YOLO, but he killed you with this particular shooty gun bang, and so you have enough information to understand why you died, right? Like that communication. I mean, Quake's had it. If you didn't know what killed you, there'd be a little thing that says, oh, you got blown up by a missile you didn't see, or a bullet stray from a machine gun, or what have you. Lizzie, did I say hi? I hope I did. Watto and welcome. Sorry, now that you're all here and I'm getting to talk to you all, I'm like, yay! Friendos! Well, so Orzine, it's worth looking at. I watch a lot of Marty Cow streams, and she's really fucking good at Quake Champions.
Stop that incessant clicking.
You could have just left Assman 420 Blaze It. You could have left that on the side. Now we have a Mike Cox 2. In the pantheon of characters, you had to immortalize this one. That's right, Lizzie. They'll forget about Assman 420 Blaze It. But Mike Cox 2, Burning Vengeance. But anyway, there are loads of different ways to do multiplayer shooters. And I'm not saying that every way has been done, but there are certain things that we now know for sure. And then seeing games make those mistakes is a pain. I have had a look at the character designs of Concord. It suffers a little bit from the truck nuts problem. They're all a little too perfect. But the silhouettes pop. I think had it been given its day in the sun, people would have learned that, okay, like, this robot dustbin means this, and, you know, Spiky McShoulder pads, oh, well, he's got his hot sauce attack or what have you. There were a few characters that struck me as, this is a design I've seen from another production, but with more artistic detail, which again isn't bad, but the truck nuts problem, right? I think the Concord character designs were a little too perfect. Like, they were too clean, they were too... It really felt like someone said, hey, I love character X from this, I want you to give me that, but in Concord style. And the person who did that gave him that perfectly, but that perfect rendition was lacking in grime, in heart. Sorry, if this is the first time you've heard the truck nuts thing, Patrick Gill made an incredible video about the mechs in Anthem, the mech suits. And his video was, they should have truck nuts. And it's an incredible video. I'll try and dig it out, unless somebody else beats me to it. But the TLDR of it is that if your designs are too perfect, they lack personality, because in reality, things aren't perfect. If you think of some of the really great characters in our space, you know, they are flawed and broken and weird. And when you talk about mechanical design as well, when you think about the designs that really stand out, the ones that really stick in people's minds, is they're weird, right? Have you ever actually sat and looked at the original design of the Gundam? Like the Mac Daddy, the Granddad, the RX-78. It's fucking weird. It has so many weird fucking bits on it. And over the years, that design has been like tweaked and perfected, and it kind of became the cool icon that it was. But it was not a cool design to start with. Anthem's mechs just kind of look like different coloured flavours of the same thing. And I mean, if you look at like the BattleTech designs as well, so many of those mechs are fugly. But in a weird kind of intriguing way. Sorry, I haven't finished painting them yet, but like, you know, I'm still working on my clan mechs. The Thor, or the Summoner, it's regular blokey, but he's got a wonky neck and a tube of missiles. Where's his face? I don't know. The face is actually on this side. You know? The way in which those designs dance between being like a jet fighter on legs to being just a little guy, a weird little guy. Quasi, ask away. I'll happily switch gears from, you know, multiplayer design philosophies to Gundams. Lagmeister, the fucking Irby is iconic, and it is one of the ugliest designs. And Evil Geek's rewatching OG Gundam, and those designs were weird. They were super weird. I love them. So Quasi says, the 9-year-old has got excited and helped me put together a few Warhammer minis. Problem is, he doesn't quite have enough decks for the details and the risk to damage. Are there gunpla I can point him to? Hells yes. The entry grade kits don't even require nippers. You can just pop them out of their space. So, I've got one of the entry grades here. Like, they look really fucking cool. And they're super easy to put together. I usually do them when I'm like stressed or feeling under the weather or stuff like that. Or drunk. And I'd say Drunk Will has the dexterity of a 9-year-old. Actually, Drunk Will is surprisingly good at putting Gundams together. I've done first top coat for my weird paint scribble build. Yeah, Quasi, do you mind what region of the world are you in? Like, obviously don't dox yourself, but... East Coast, Beast Coast. Alright, give me a sec. Both. Alright. So this is from my favourite homies over at New Type. New Type, please sponsor me! You know I love you! Oh. Sorry. Ignore that last one. Here, take this one. Sorry, that last link broke because I was trying to do the in-stock ones. But these are all the entry grade kits. They are all of the same like complexity. They can all just be popped out, so you don't need nippers, but you can use them. This also will include the Pokemon ones, and the Pokemon ones are even simpler than the Gundams, and they're fucking cheap. You know, Pikachu's $10. See, I got you. I may not know a lot of topics, but the topics I do know, I know well. Oh. And also with those kits, it's designed in such a way that the pieces don't fit together if you do it wrong. And they're all designed in such a way as to remain unconfusing. Caffeine. Glad you're enjoying it, friend. While I was ragingly hungover, I did try the Death to Billionaires Liquid Death iced tea, which was kind of nice. It was a little light on flavour because I guess it's supposed to be more hydrating than sugary. Ah, Judica, then I got you. Like, friends, you've got me for like another hour and change, so let's banter. And Evil Geek does make a good point as well that the SD Gundam kits are a good way to move from that. But some of the SD kits can be a bit... So the SD kits are cheaper and they are interesting, but some of them are fiddly as fuck. Not all of them, but some of them. Which is hella weird, but that's just how it be sometimes. Oh yeah, no, Quasi, hard agree. Actually, I rewatched Pokemon Concierge yesterday to try and, like, level out. God. Like, 1 million shout-outs to the OG Pokemon design team. Like, those designs will be around forever. And Nick, I did see that they're trying to reopen 3 Mile Island. And I read that, and I was going to rage about it, and then I was like, you know what? The technology that they're attempting to use it for will not last the process that it takes to get that thing back online. And I cannot wait to hear about how much money they're going to lose on AI-themed fuckery. But, bring it back to positive topics. So how about them video games? Because, like... Frostpunk 2 is apparently doing very well. Now, the one that I really, really want to play, Lorne's Lure, has finally dropped, which is like a... somewhere between, like, Blame and... I don't know, I want to say I Divine Cybermancy, but as a first-person climbing game on these gigantic, impossible structures. That dropped today. Copycat finally dropped, which looks cute as shit. And, you know, UFO 50, Plucky Squire. I haven't even had a chance to do the stop-motion Scotland game yet. Ludero, I believe it is. Nick, so I'm also going to wait for version 1 of Frostpunk, but just because once I start, I can't fucking stop. So, you know. Oh yeah, and Alnus, Warren's saying multiple times that the next Yakuza game is going to be Mijima Hawaiian Pirate. Mijima Pirate in Hawaii. Fuck yes. But I'm hovering over to see how these titles are doing. Yes, so Verdant Flow. I think it is fine to plug the hell out of this bundle. Because it is for special effect, if I remember rightly. And sorry, Verdant, thank you for reminding me. So there is a very, very interesting bundle up on Humble that I would like you all to consider because it fucking slaps. It's $20, and that is $20 for Rain World and Downpour, but also Death Gambit, Duck Game, Jazz Punk, Battle Chef Brigade, and the Samurai Jack Battle Through Time. Now, $20 for Rain World and Downpour. Let's fucking go. And also, you know, the bundle supports special effect. And, you know, they're one of the teams that we stand in this house. Rilu does a lot of work with Rilu's with special effect and does a lot of good stuff. And Nick, congrats on the milestone. Fucking wee! One of the things that dropped yesterday is we have a release date for the next Rain World DLC. It will be next year, but I can wait. I can wait. Give me a chance to get this covered in more Rain World tattoos. No, at this point, I think all I can really do is start volunteering my untattooed flesh in exchange for other tattoos on other parts of flesh. I think that's all I can do. Also, one of the reasons why I love this bundle is because it's celebrating that time when like Adult Swim Games was just one of the absolute gold standards in the industry. And Adult Swim Games died because of corporate fuckery, right? Like, there's no two ways about it. Like, it didn't die. Adult Swim Games didn't die because it was bad. Okay, now we good. Sorry. Yeah, Judica. Battle Chef Brigade. God, the trailer for that was gorgeous. You know, it's one part like platform brawler, like resource gatherer, one part like puzzle quest but cooking. It's really fucking good. And Aeon, Watto, and welcome. Hello, hello. Coming in, coming in. And what was also interesting is that both Battle Chef Brigade and Rain World managed to get out from under Adult Swim before things went sideways. Akapura is now supporting Rain World, and I think Battle Chef Brigade is now self-published. Sorry, friends, I went to space for a second there. Alright, I'm back. It was an interesting trip. I've seen things you couldn't possibly believe. Now, I used to know one of the core guys at Adult Swim Games who was responsible for signing titles. And, like, he was so passionate and so knowledgeable. I used to love chatting with him at GDC, but then that stuff all kind of... Actually, Rilu, I did summon you by name. I was just talking about the Adult Swim Legacy bundle on Humble. That it has, you know... I mean, it's $20 for Rain World and Rain World DLC. That also includes Death Gambit, Duck Game, Jazz Punk, Battle Chef Brigade, and fucking Samurai Jack. Right? Then I tripped over my words when I was trying to explain what your involvement with special effect. But the only thing I was going to go on to say, though, was like... I know I've said this a lot, but I feel like it needs saying... Hey!
What ho, Viking pirates? Are we ready for shenanigans?
Well, Solyrus! I'm sorry to disappoint. Tonight will not be a piratical shenanigans moment. Basically, so Fiona is away... Not at TwitchCon as in like walking around the event, but in San Diego. Yes, San Diego. They were out yesterday to run a charity event for Stack Up, and I've been wrangling the animals. And yesterday was a very bad day. Tonight, I've got Fearless here, you know, some peeps are coming round, but I decided that I didn't have the ability to organize all the pirates and get everybody together and try and do everything else at the same time. Like, there wasn't even a stream yesterday. That's how bad yesterday was. So I've got some smooth, you know, post-Samurai Champloo beats. I got my afternoon coffee. Time travel is weird. And I'm just having a little natter with everybody. Yeah, really, they're doing TwitchCon the right way. What I can tell you is they got to go to the Sonic the Hedgehog Cafe, which looks amazing. And apparently Duckside are doing a big push for TwitchCon marketing-wise, and everybody has a squeaky duck. Duckside is the what if we made Rust but ducks? That's it. That's the premise. Rust but ducks. But I got a free cookie today, so I thought I'd share that with you. Well, so Virals, I'm not going to be getting into Key Locker today, but I'm thinking Key Locker is going to be next Thursday, because we have Forever Winter on Tuesday, then obviously climbing Mount Melania on Wednesday, then Sea of Thieves, and then another Mines of Moria. So Varials, I am not pushing it too hard tonight because, like I said, yeah, but you know what? You'll don't need my problems. You'll don't need my problems. But suffice to say, I have help today, and I have some friendos coming around, and we're gonna have a lovely little evening of it, and I will. I do believe Wheeler Dealer. You mean push it real good? Sorry, I laugh at myself. Wheeler, how are you doing, friend? Watto and welcome. I've been talking about multiplayer design and marketing campaigns and ducks and Gundams and the wonderful legacy of Adult Swim games, gone but not forgotten. And Lyris, thank you for filling the pint glass. You know. But yeah, we've just been nattering about video games and whatnot. And I just wanted to... I was just taking a moment to kind of re-highlight just... It's never been a better time to be a fan of playing games. It still sucks being on the side of making them. Wheeler is burning dinner, making dinner. Good on you. I attempted to make Japanese curry yesterday, and it was an unmitigated disaster. Which, could be thinking about that one for a while. I'm sorry, like I said, I'm not gonna turn this into the poor me's. But no, I just, again, I'm doing real good today, friends. That's why I'm here, because I've got help, and I'm doing better. Watched a couple of movies yesterday. Finally saw Boy Kills World, which is a live... I kept thinking of it as like live action I Am Your Beast. But definitely a great reminder that there's only so much misery you can put your audience through in a fight scene. You've got to let it have some catharsis. Well, Nick, how much Hitman have you played? Because definitely we're going to have a Hitman with Will and Nessa. I don't know when we're going to do that. If I can invent more fucking days in the week. Oh, Rilu, hopefully they're not too chaotic. Yeah, like Lunsday. Or Blurstry. You know. Hitman, unnecessary roughness. Man, this is what happens when I leave you alone for a day, Dustin. All that, like, wordplay gets condensed.
Hitman screams in horror for no good or determinable reason.
And, Bacon, thank you for the bits, you feckin' terror. As I told you, I don't have Hitman money. You're fine. And Jackie, I'm glad it's been going well. And yes, also, buy Star Truckers, wishlist Endoparasitic 2. Which comes out in a couple weeks. Be the one-armed sharpshooter we're always supposed to be. Don't need Hitman money, just need Hitman friend. Everyone always says Hitman, but no one asks, how man? I'll make myself laugh. Okay, well, so Holy Boss, I'll probably be gone when you return, but have a lovely rest of your evening, alright? Mess with the nest, die like the rest. Perfect. Perfect! If you're wondering what the hell we're talking about, basically Nessa got really into Hitman World of Assassinations this year, and I now have a person to talk to about it. Because my thing is like, so for World of Assassination, I've got about like 60, 70 hours in, which is fine. But then, you know, I had 30 hours in Hitman, 40 hours in Hitman 2, and Hitman 3 just became World of Assassination, so I've got a, you know, I've got a nice cash, like 100 plus hours in it. And I loved the sniper challenges. Oh, DJ, well done, well done. So I have played an inordinate amount of it, and the evolution of Hitman as a series and as a brand is something that should be fucking studied, right? Like, I am so glad we're in a timeline where Hitman Absolution did not kill the franchise, but when you look at the fact that we're still seeing this kind of like this genre chase, or at least this like perceived user... I'm trying to think how to phrase it. People are creating titles or taking existing franchises and tweaking them in the way that they believe that their user base wants, which twists them away from the core experience that the users were enjoying. Yeah, Square Enix weren't even going to nosedive them. It was like watching the fucking Ultimate Suplex by Zangief, and they managed to somehow cancel out of it. Like, they survived all of Square Enix's terrible business decisions. the episodic formula, etc., and have kind of succeeded in creating, at least in terms of live service development, for a Hitman game. You know, they're regularly releasing DLC with new challenges, new goodies. And I do think it's really interesting that they've started turning the... Okay, so they've taken the... What was it? The elusive targets and turned them into little content packs. I think it's really smart. You can still only get the elusive target achievement by doing it you have one shot and you've got to wait like another year until you can do it again. But now...
Agent 47 dressed up as Saitama and punched someone to death. Headlines read, "One punch hits man."
Take him out in one punch. The punch is also a fish. Akira Zero, thank you for 500. How are you doing? Yeah. Well, one thing that's really important, because sorry, Nick was saying it's wild to see how far Square Enix has fallen. And they're still successful, right? And if it is something based around Final Fantasy, they pull out all the stops. But if you are not Final Fantasy, they do not know how to handle. Like, the difference between, like, the titles that they have, like, promoted, like, either over-promoted or under-promoted, like, over-supported, under-supported. I still remember their really B-tier, like, Ghost Cop investigation game that got the full AAA marketing experience, right? And then other incredible titles under them that just didn't. Murdered Soul Suspect. That had the full kit and caboodle. But, you know, they're mostly good with handling Life is Strange, but, you know, it still amazed me how Little Goody Two Shoes nearly snuck past me. That was a fucking incredible game they published. You know, the mishandling of Forspoken was heartbreaking. Like, I haven't had the chance to have proper hands-on with it, but from what I hear, it's a fun game. There's great movement mechanics and stuff like that. They just fucking biffed it with the marketing assets. So it's like, I don't want to say, you know, I don't want to sound like people did after Square became Square Enix, you know, because there's a lot of things in the lineup they're doing really well with. Power Wash Simulator, for example. But then they also absolutely fucking shit the bed on other things, and it's infuriating. You know? For every Nier Automata, we have one Balan Wonderland. Fucking Outriders getting the full AAA treatment, but then what was the one another one they completely left sitting on the fence? I want to say Triangle Strategy, but brain's getting a little foggy in terms of, like, because unfortunately in my noggin a lot of the key art for the JRPG titles just fucking blends. Oh, Valkyrie Elysium, which needed so much more love. Yeah, and Triangle Strategy was fucking brilliant. Whereas with Forspoken, that got the full treatment, but bad. Because, okay, we've all seen the same article that's been doing the rounds the last couple of days, talking about, like, how both Final Fantasy 16 and the Final Fantasy 7 Remastered Part 2 Wolverhampton Nil hasn't hit expectations. Now, this is actually the information we were talking about earlier in the year, but now they've added a bit more context, a bit more quotes. Beta Bronze saying Symphony of War Nephilim Saga was fantastic. I wouldn't have fucking known. Outriders sure was a game. It was. So yeah. It's that thing of when Square Enix handles shit good, second to none, right? But for the rest of the time, it's just, homies, what are you doing? Because I'm trying to remember if Foam Stars was then as well. Or if Foam Stars was Sony. Anyway, I'll come back around to that one. Foam Stars was then, okay. Octopath Traveler did get a little love. And again, they've done a great job with Power Wash Simulator. Anyway. I haven't had the chance to try the Final Fantasy 16. Yo! Fearless, you fucking legend! I can actually yell to Fearless in the other room, it's great. Well, there you go. Beast of Bronze, next time you come by, you don't have to worry about weird adverts trying to sell you... I don't even know what the current Twitch advert meta is. But yeah, I haven't had the chance to try Final Fantasy 16, so I can't comment on it. A lot of people are saying that it is not a very stable port. And I guess that, well, they can't all be Capcom when it comes to PC ports, right? I don't know. I used to have friends over at Square Enix. I don't anymore, so I don't know what their strategy is. And it's important to remember that there are still a lot of publishers that operate in a Japan-first mentality for biz dev, right? And that's not a critique. I'm not saying that's bad. But for a lot of those teams, their home region is their primary focus, even if it's not their primary moneymaker. And sometimes, when one focuses too much on a particular region, your focus can get a little bit myopic, you know. Well, Beast of Bronze, good luck to them. And if anything, I want to be the... No, I want to be the guy. You have to build a boat. And... Sorry, you have to build a boat is a good example of a Mobage non-play to win that saw good success when it was re-released on other platforms. I don't know if it applies to the kind of game they want to make, but a good one to research. Yeah. Well, so Moose, again, I'm trying not to be overly critical, but the thing that we can take away from the Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Part 2 Wolverhampton Zero remake is that they were making deals with Sony predominantly based around like Sony's dominance in the console market in Japan, and those PS5s don't be selling like them PS4s, you know what I mean? The other interesting one, and I promise we're not going to go too far down this rabbit hole because it's literally the thing that I've been wanting to avoid, but the whole thing with Nintendo and Power World that's been going down. One thing that's really interesting about it is that this is predominantly a tactical move for the Japanese market. And that being that Sony, who is a local, had begun to set up what was called Power World Entertainment, with the idea of taking Power World and turning it into a big brand, big IP, right? You know, the kind of thing that could threaten a Pokémon's. And it has been pointed out that Nintendo have crushed a few other people legally in their home territory, and that they probably would have ignored Power World had it not tried to, you know, come for the king. So we'll see how that one unfurls. Obviously, I'm not saying it is a good thing. It's just, it's smart evil, and I understand it. Harder to fight Pal World once it becomes a big entity with a similar war chest. Better crush it early before it can challenge the giant beady eyes of Pikachu himself, you know? And Angel Kalina, Watto and welcome. Hello, hello. Yes, Beast of Bronze. They Nintendo are going to be going after Pal World. The only thing that we know is that Nintendo have stated it's due to patent infringement. That's all we know right now. They will be seeking legal damages. Everybody and their pasty white brother have a million opinions on this. Honestly, that's all we know right now. And like, Nintendo get litigious for two reasons. Like, one is anything that they think is going to be a rampant piracy producer for their mainline titles. And the other is like, you know, home region business nonsense. Apparently, one of the other titles that they absolutely obliterated was a very popular Japan-only mobile game. Well, so DJ Coil, this is where we've got to not let the crazy take over, because yes, the do you want to continue after waking up from sleep is something that they hold in Japan, but they have not used it across the board. It's not like the old mini games in loading screens where I believe it was Atari would absolutely just come after anybody who did it, right? Like traditional patent trolling. They basically use these like legal magical swords that they only break out if they want to, well, break someone. So a lot of people have been running around screaming the skies are coming in, screaming this is going to be similar to the Nemesis system and things like that. Ironically, the Nemesis system is so difficult to reproduce, no one even bothered. But it's why I don't want to get too far into this, because it's not until we get a little bit more information that we understand the severity of it. But yeah, whoever was saying that it sounds like a mob boss maneuver, it kind of is. You know, Pokemon is one of the biggest single IPs on the planet. Hang on, lots. We'll do for last year. Yes. IPOs. Biggest IPs. No, not law firms. Highest grossing video franchises, 2023. Okay. Yeah, Pokemon was one of the single biggest franchises on the planet. I want to say this is the last year? Sorry, it gets a bit fugly because Google's shite for research now. And everybody's got a fucking opinion. Very few of them are good. Once again, much like arseholes. But yeah, so basically, like, Pokemon eclipses even Disney. Now, it can get a bit squiggly when... Again, how this gets reported is always very, very confusing, because there are certain media franchises that are owned by the same people, so when you put them all together, it gets a bit weird. You know... Yes, Winnie the Pooh is bigger than Star Wars, but, like, Gundam's bigger than Batman. yeah, a lot of the ranking lists are. It's hard to find good, clear ones with like actionable data, but yeah. So again, I'm not saying I agree with it or that I like it, but you can understand the evil of, oh, Sony, my mates from down the road, are trying to build their own version of Pokemon that could compete with us. Let's fucking kill them. Because, like, there was no way Invisimals was going to take over the planet. When I went to go see Sum 41, one of Eric's friends was based out in Cologne for a while, went to a lot of Gamescoms, and we were talking about the old Sony parties, and I still remember someone getting fucking twisted drunk and climbing one of the invisible dinosaurs. Weirdly, apparently they stopped having those Gamescom parties on the Sony show floor. Yeah, Grayson, yeah, the mob boss and rival gang. And again, the reason I think this specifically is because, you know, Sony is the competitors down the road. It's not like a nefarious concept of. I love serving alcohol to people near my most expensive items. Oh, sorry. I was very confused for a hot second there. Well, no, so what used to happen at Gamescom is that there would be always the Sony party. And instead of like hiring a venue or having an offsite, they would just have the Sony hall at Gamescom and everyone would show up and there'd just be a DJ and free booze. Sorry, I just saw Lagmeister's. Have you heard the tale of Eeyore the Wise? Not a story the Jedi would tell you. It just reminds me of Tigger's Abyss. Time to bounce, motherfucker! Oh. But yeah. Amos, you're okay, buddy? It went out like an hour or two ago. You find me. Oh, wanker! Sorry, Lance. Drunkenly, I favorited a search on eBay for Steel Battalion controllers, and now it sends me an email every other day and reminds me that I don't have $400. I had such a good time at PAX, and not just when I destroyed that person in front of their service dog, but also actually playing it proper. So, lucky bastards. I also found out that there's, you can download just drivers to get the Steel Battalion controller working with modern PCs. And I'm like, fuck you. Back in the day, you used to have to resolder the board to make it function with PC games. Or with a PC. Now, there's just a little dongle and you just download the fucking drivers. I still feel bad, Lance, just dragging that poor woman's mechanical corpse under 1 foot. Oh, what's this? I appear to have stepped in something. It's people! Amos, you're fine. The baby boy is fine. I believe Fearless has had the audacity to pee without inviting Amos to come along. Fucking hell. Yeah, I know. It's poor baby. It's so hard being Amos. Yeah, no, Lance, we've mentioned it a few times, but... Hey!
Online. All systems nominal.
Hello, the Pro 284 wave.
What and welcome. Hello, hello. God, 71 months. And a happy Friday to you, friend. We're having a little natter. You all have got me for about another, 15, 20 minutes or so. And I'm gonna start bringing this to a close. No, Lance, you're all good, friend. Like, Sega's support of the Yakuza franchise is something that I kind of wish Square Enix would look at and go, okay, you don't have to... Sorry, if we're going back to marketing discussions, it often feels like Square Enix have two speeds, which is stop and kill. Like, either it is Final Fantasy 16 is on the side of a fucking bus, there is a Mountain Dew crossover, it is everywhere. Or it is a red-headed stepchild to be thrown in the closet and beaten with sticks.
Online. All systems nominal.
Surprise. I've been here for at least a year.
Ishkar, 12 months. That's at least more than 2 months. Thank you. That prologue, that's as long as someone could have a sub. Ishkar, that's your full year. Thank you. And I hope you're both doing splendid. But like, okay, I'm not saying that Sega are good and great and perfect. Their marketing is a whole other kettle of monkeys, but they've consistently supported the Yakuza team. They've not poured buckets of money on them, but at the same time they haven't neglected them and pushed them down the stairs. They've let them be weird, and now that they have a business case for like localizing more of the games and releasing them outside of Japan, it's really cool. Oh yeah, no, Jamami. I'm sure whatever it is that Pirate Yakuza says as a game is going to be surprisingly pointed. Like, even the, Like a Dragon, well, I guess they're all Like a Dragon, but like, the side offshoots with the XL Saga looking guy, like, those have been so bizarre and so over the top, and yet at the same time very pointed. Amos, you're fine, dude. And yes, Fearless, as a redhead with a step-parent, I'm allowed to make that joke. Actually, I think my stepmom is a lot better to me than Square Enix is to some of its games. And Lackmeister, here's hoping. I would like to give Yakuza 0 and not just, oh god, the apocalyptic zombie one. Oh god, I always forget the name of it. Dead Souls. I want to give that one another go. Like, I still appreciate that, like, Sega were happy to give that team the kind of the love and support that they needed. I also really enjoyed Binary Domain, but that game was a little too weird for mainstream. But like having actual voice commands in a shooter years before everybody else. I don't know. It's okay. Sorry. The reason why I think it's such a good thing is that if you get on a franchise that is doing well, it's great to have job security, right? If you get on like an Assassin's Creed or a Far Cry, like you're good. You're going to be working there for as long as you. Well, okay. Arsehole-ish layoffs aside, but those long-running franchises, they have stability. That's great. But working on those long-running franchises, pop is big, joints. Working on those long-running franchises can burn you out because you're doing same thing day in, day out, and as the team increases in size, you become more and more of a specialist. So you get to have less creative freedom in the spheres that you are involved. So doing things like, you know, the Ishin spin-off games, you know, Dead Souls or A Binary Domain is not a Yakuza game, but it is. If you played it, you know. Shout out to my pistol-wielding French assassin robot. But those kinds of projects can really help a team, like, shake off that burnout. You know, a project where it's like, hey, you want to do something a little bit different, a little bit more fun? Let's do that. But you can't bet the farm, right? You know, I think things like Far Cry Blood Dragon are a really good example of that one. Mecha Yakuza game when? Oh. Well, so long as it's better than Left Alive, I'll be happy. Maybe that should be one of my stretch goals for the Let's Help Will Not Die-a-thon. If we reach a certain point, Will has to stream Left Alive again. I wonder if I could mentally survive it. A Yakuza Gundam crossover. Well, okay, if we're actually being serious about this, about the concept of trying to create like a giant robot Yakuza game, you need to change the pacing up a little bit. Because you need that differentiation between being on the base and being out doing stuff, right? Yakuza has that great little like spark of random fights you can have while going off to do karaoke and things like that. With this, it's kind of... Hey, Miss Buddy, you're good. Hang on. Bear with me just a second. I'm going to equip Fearless with the squirty bottle. Someone is being a needy little baby. Just because your foot is here, doesn't mean you can be I'm not getting all of the attention. Give me some attention. Such a needy baby. Well, you're gonna have to fucking deal with it, baby boy. You'll hear that. The reason for Amos's distress is that Fearless dared to look away from paying him attention and doing other stuff. Okay, where were we? Oh, Yakuza but Gundam. Alright, so the only thing that would need to change is the differentiation between what you do in the city and the adventures. I'd almost want to pull from Biomotor Unitron, which I understand I'm the only fucking person who played. That is, what if Pokemon but Gundam? It was a Neo Geo Color Pocket title that is available on the Switch now, where you go out into varying areas, battle monsters to collect materials to build mech parts so you can then fight in mech tournaments. Well, so Lagmeister, the other thing that you could do is similar to Wolfstride. So you have the differentiation between a mech fight and so like a simulated mech fight, right? And it's okay. If you haven't played Wolfstride, sorry for those of you who had to hear me rave about this game multiple times. Let me get you the link, because if this is the first time you're hearing about this, this is one of the best like anime mech games I've played in ages. But the TLDR in this one is that, you know, you have a mech specifically for the purpose of competing in arena matches. But the problem with that is that each of the narrative arcs is all leading up to one big fight. So you can't just have the mech stomping around beating the fuck out of everybody, because it removes it. So what they added was basically a training mode where you face off against other mechs in like a faux in-game mobile game. So what you could do is create a situation where like your mech's digidata fights other mechs. And that allows you to have more places to learn, but then create higher stakes when you're out actually fighting with it proper. I mean, Lagmeister, essentially. Because, alright, what are the core components of a Yakuza game? Fucking great, not necessarily gory, but like teeth-rattling physical violence. A deadpan storyline played completely straight that is offset by the sheer amount of ridiculous whimsy in the world. Like, in my humble opinion, I'd say those are the three core conceits, right? So, can you do that with robots? Absolutely. You know, mech battles are huge war machines doing battle in incredibly violent war zones, right? You have conflict, loss, the whole shebang. So we've got the serious down pat. The rattling combat could be done if the whole thing was predominantly like melee weapons only. And we could come up with some bullshit space reason as to why it's only that. So, okay, we've got our mechs. They're all brawlers with some, like, you know, cool weapons and shit. Jobs are good. And the whimsy, well, we've got our space station. We can put as much fucking whimsy in that as we want. You know, if our person is handled like if our main character is very serious, very po-faced, then all the ridiculousness of the rest is offset. Now, Gundam Builders kind of works, but it's really fucking hard to create stakes and serious things when there are no stakes in conflict, right? So it's hard to have the po-faced character who's po-faced about building a robot, and if the robot gets smashed, there are no worries. Yeah, Lance, it's one of the few games where people will cut off a finger as an apology for failing their family. And then later, we're going out to play, Space Harrier karaoke, build one of those little, like, credit card style racing cars and play that for hours on end. Like, and it's definitely something that Wolfstride nailed that. The difference being, Wolfstride doesn't have any combat outside of the big arena matches or the training matches on your in-game phone. So there's no random interaction, and the rest is very much like visual novel-esque storytelling. It's fucking good. I cannot recommend it enough. But I think it shows how it could be done. I was kind of a little sad that their follow-up game was a roguelike deck builder. Because if you play through Wolfstride, that story absolutely slaps. And Zetzillions is... If Wolfstride is Cowboy Bebop, then Zetzillions is like cracked out Space Dandy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'd love to conceive of something like that. If we got like a good chunky low poly 3D, it's possible. But I do want to say, if you haven't seen it, if Wolfstride is like how you do it good, Left Alive is one of the worst giant robot games. Possibly one of the worst games I've ever had the pleasure of experiencing. Like, Notable Joe, you don't know that. I was born in 85. But Joe, how are you doing? Watto and welcome. Lance, it is $5.99, down from $60. They didn't even have the decency to reduce the price. Now, Left Alive should be one of the greatest fucking video games of all time. It's based in the Front Mission world, where you flip between 3 different characters who are all stuck in a city that is currently under mech conflict, right? Like, shit has gone wild. One person is, you know, kind of like a traffic cop. One is a special forces guy, and the other is just a dyed-in-the-wool mech pilot. And it's supposed to, like, the theory is fucking brilliant. You are just trying to survive in this city that's being torn apart by giant robot mech battles. You know, you creep between buildings, avoid conflict. You know, you gotta survive. Everything about it is absolute unmitigated dog shit. And, okay, not from the get-go, but it gets progressively worse. Also, for some reason, if you get the Steam version, it is rammed full of advertisements for World of Warships and World of Tanks. Why? I have no fucking clue. You can't turn it off. The gameplay is nonsensical and bad. There is no rhyme or reason as to how enemies find you. The conflict points flip between being so easy as to be insulting and so lethal as to be impossible. And it has done me a damage. And you know what? In the Will Survivathon, I'll do it. I will play that. I will show you that. Maybe that's the marathon game. God, it's bad. Yeah, well, the irony, Lance, is that the previous title in the Front Mission series was Front Mission Evolved, which was also dog shit. But at least that one was about giant robot fights, which is badly made. Well, no, so Lagmeister, here's what I'm thinking, is like, that's one of those, like, either if we reach a certain point, I have to play it, or I have to play it for as long as you lot keep me playing it. Like, and this isn't a critique on other individuals. This isn't a critique on any, like, events or otherwise, but personally, whenever I think about doing marathon streams for, you know, raising money, be it for charity, being it to keep yourself alive, you know, what have you, I always feel a little bit like, if you're going to do that, if you're going to ask people to throw money at you, you have to be prepared to fucking work for it. You know, having a marathon of your very favorite game in the whole wide world, kind of, I don't know. There's got to be a hook, right? Like, if I say a Left Alive marathon, you would be forcing me to continue playing a game that drives me up the fucking wall, unlike anything else. But yeah, it's a desert bus challenge. Lagmeister says, dude, the Gunpla equivalent of chess boxing, alternate between building Gundams and playing a horrible game. Fuck, that would be funny. God. Anyway, like I said, things have definitely been difficult. You know, between getting sick August PAX and then, like, this month already kicking the shit out of me, I'm definitely going to need to do something, the equivalent of previous Shark Weeks. So, we're still working out what that's going to be. You all will be able to torture me in some way, shape, or form through the medium of financial donations. And I am absolutely prepared to work my fucking ass off, because I love doing this, friends. And, you know, I'm stupidly lucky that I get to. And I can't sit here and say that if I'm not prepared to, like, work for it, you know? Angel Galena, I like the Will Has Fun hook. I have fun every day. Fun is my fucking baseline when hanging out with you lot. I'm grinning like a loon. This isn't a bit. I'm really happy. You know, I'm sorry that we're not going to be able to do, like, a full-on stream tonight.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja
Hey!
Turtles are 4 reptilian heroes have overcome the Arc Villain Shredder.
Notable Joe. That's really fucking cool of you. Thank you. You managed to get subs to Hut, the Juggernaut, Down Under Dwarf, Demnas, and Distron. That's a good lineup. Thank you. And now none of those people have got to worry about getting like adverts and nonsense. Amos is sorry too. Amos is not sorry. Amos is annoyed that Amos is not getting all of Fearless's attention right now. Ads be gone. Indeed. In the past, it used to be like Hunt the Unsubbed. Now it's become like ads. Not today. Well, so Aeon, I've personally found that people like the idea of those kind of marathon streams, but they don't want to watch them. And that could just be me, that when I get into that like speedrunning style mindset, I'm just not interesting. You know, it happens whenever I get really drunk and force people to watch me play like Post Void or Devil Daggers or what have you, because I fucking love those. And there was definitely a point in the I Am Your Beast stream where I stopped talking and everyone was like, nah, we good. And that's fine. I find that at very least, suffering stops me from being boring. That never happens. Lizzie, that's the one time where I feel like you're my personal hitman. I'm like, no, there was no drunk stream here. Just destroying all of the evidence. And Jackie, that's something that I have natted about in the past. Like, Tobias used to do a big stream with a bunch of people that was like a Stellaris RP. Fiona played a race of vengeful penguins. And it's something I'd like to revisit. It's just an hours in a day. Like, Stellaris stream is a lot of people and a lot of organization. But yeah, getting the chance to Mystery Science a Stellaris game would be a ton of fun. See, Jackie, and I kept reading that as the absolute state of Rachel Ray. Stellaris is fun. Like, they embraced the idea that you can have a grand strategy game where losing is fun, or at least losing generates stories. And I feel like that should be common practice. No, Jackie, I know what you mean. But yeah, I'm brainstorming ideas and things for this, because in the past, for those of you who are new, we did what was called Shark Week, where I would spend a whole week playing shark games. I am vehemently afraid of sharks and of the open water. But the last time we did Shark Week, it went a little bit too far, and people got really uncomfortable. Like, they got to see, like, actual irrational fears, and I think that killed the fun for it for a lot of people, which is completely understandable. So I'm trying to think of other things, and like, you know, I was chatting with Sadlin about this. Hello, little Terra. You gonna come settle? Amos, you gonna come settle? Amos. Hey. All right. I'm not chopped liver. Yeah, it's... Now, Quasi, we could do that. I do have a donations timer, and it would be very funny to have to play something like Left Alive, because that is agony, but not in the jump-scarian way or in the irrational fears way, but in the just, that game hurts me. And if you like giant robots, it'll hurt you too. But again, these are things we're scheming. I don't have a date for when we're going to be doing this specifically, but if it's not start of October, it will be around that time. But here's the thing, like Nick, like I've already done Subnautica 1 and 2, well, Subnautica and Below Zero, and as much as they scared the shit out of me, I fucking loved them. And we even played Subnautica 1 with spooky alerts on, where the longship could proc like these guttural roars and nonsense. Crowd control is an option. Crowd control day on Subnautica was the stuff of legend. But like, we can do that again. I'd need to tweak some things. Nick, I think the Shark Week VODs are up. Because, yeah, crowd control Subnautica was... They did some crimes to me that day. But it is, like, I did tweak it, but I think I need to tweak it further if we did another day. And we will be doing depth again. It has been requested, and I am prepared to do, like, an evening of people playing as sharks and attacking me, because, one, depth is a really good game at its core, even if it does scare the fuck out of me. But I just want to add that Subnautica is a brilliant series, and despite it being about my greatest fear, I love it, you know? So, anyway, friends, have a ponder, have a think on this. Like, I'd love to hear your thoughts and feels. Well, some cold ankles, like, UT99 getting pulled has definitely made it a lot harder. Yes, have I heard of TIS 100? Let's have a look. Have I heard of TSI 100? Have I heard TSI 100? Have I heard TSI 100? The first thing that most people learn about me is that if the question is, have you heard of Game X? The answer is almost always going to be yes. Now, I will admit it, if someone mentions a game that I don't know, I will always be impressed. But I will admit, out of all of the those titles, Magnum Opus is the one I spent the most time with. I love Last Call BBS though. What's Lyra sharing? Oh, that's coming in fun. That's Baby Will. God. Man, Ket's old camera did wonders for my skin. HD is unkind to this face. It was 1,000 years ago. And if you didn't see that OG playthrough of Subnautica, the playlist is on YouTube. There is a moment where Ket played the Jaws theme from outside the window. Fucked me up something fierce. Still impressed by that. Still impressed by that one. Okay, unfortunately, friends, I'm sorry that this has to be such a teeny tiny stream. I'm going to roll credits in just a second, because I've realised I've been going a little bit longer than I had intended. And Amos is being very loud. Cheeky bugger. Just checking out the homies to see who is live right now. So I'm sorry I have to bring everything to a close. But I'm glad we got to hang out. If it hadn't been for Fearless being around here today, there wouldn't have been anything of a stream. Yesterday was a fucking nightmare. Survived it, but at what cost? Fragile Dreams. That one rings a bell. Oh yeah, no, Prolab, I'd say we've talked about this one. Because there were so few Wii games that did anything beyond the standard, I got real obsessed with them. I think we all talked about this, that there was the Saturn original that became a PS game that got a weird Animu-style remake for the Wii. God. Prolo, I do believe it was us hanging at GDC as the last time I talked to somebody about that. But anyway, sorry. I'm going to roll credits in just a second, but I just wanted to say another massive thank you. Thank you for being so patient with me this week. Thank you for keeping me alive. Thank you for being the reason to be better today than I was yesterday. So, cheers to you all, friends. Alright. As for tomorrow, I don't know what tomorrow's going to be. If I'm able to, I'm going to try another turn at painting some mechs, putting everything together and just having another day of nattering. Or maybe we'll just do some Saturday marbles if real life is kind of kicking my ass. But whether or not I stream happens tomorrow is very much up in the air. So we'll see how it goes, alright? But that does mean that next week we'll be back on proper schedule. And next week we've also got the launch of Forever Winter. We've got more Elden Ring. We've got Key Locker on Thursday, Sea of Thieves Friday, and then Mines of Moria again on Saturday. So, Dwarves! Rock and Stone! Which I've got to admit, I'm fucking loving. I've been really itching to get back to it. Bacon, Dog Bar's gone. Man, if Voth was still here, I'd probably be a lot less stressed and a lot more drunk. Good times. Okay, let me roll credits though. Because, literally, friends, I couldn't do this without you all. You know that. I try not to bang the drum too hard, but it's just, you know, I feel it pretty acutely. So, to MDH Rights, to Virals, to Assman420 Blazing, fuck you guys, Beasts of Bronze, the Prolo, Ishkar, the Juggernaut, Dumnas, Diston the Hut and Down on the Dwarf, thank you. Except for whoever gifted us up to Assman420, you know what you did, you fucking terror. To Eraman, Kira Zero, Lyris Dragon, Bacon Avenger, Wheeler Dealer, Shitaru, and Nick, thank you so much for the bits. Bits and donations are literally why we're still here. So, whether it was 1 or 1,000, fucking thank you. And lastly, thank you to the whole mod team, which continues to forget that Rhymes with Moose exists, which is bullshit.
Double sneak.
Fucking terror. Thank you, Lyris. But no, Caffeine, Lizzie, Moose, thank you. So, I got a few places we can head. Once again, spoil for homies. Oh, mobile Twitch is stealth mode. Okay. So I've got a little bit of platforming. I got a little bit of shooty gun bang. And I got a little bit of them MMOs that kids talk about. What strikes your fancy, friends? These are all peeps I either know or watch, right? So, like, you know, I'm not gonna walk you into the crazy. Lyris, you like some platforming? I can do that. Okay. So, I'm gonna pass you over to my good friend Tuna, who is currently playing Astrobot, which is a joyous celebration. I don't know if you've all seen the Bloodborne character in Astrobot, but God, it's a joy and a treasure. So, friends, please make my excuses to Tuna, because I'm going to check and make sure Fearless hasn't been bludgeoned to death by Amos. But thank you all, okay? Thank you all. As for what happens tomorrow, just keep an eye on the Discord. I'll let you know as soon as I know. But worst case, you got me proper next week, alright? Sorry, I'm already distracted by Astrobot. So many shinies. Oh. Sonic only had 7 Chaos Emeralds. This guy's got all of them. And yeah, Astrobot's good like that. Okay, friends. Let's just put this one under to be continued. Please let Tuna know that I will be back as soon as I can. But do hang around and say hi howdy, okay? Okay.